In today's video, we're going to be going over how none other than the legend himself, Tiger Woods, led several PGA Tour players in an exclusive meeting in an effort to form a united front against the mounting threat of LIV Golf. It's no secret that many players within the PGA can't help but be attracted by the offers they're getting either. First off, Woods' involvement in LIV Golf matters. The golfing megastar was critical of the new series not too long ago and questioned why anyone would even bother taking part in it in the first place, despite the guaranteed sums of money involved and having had offers himself. Woods stated that he disapproved of the money-first strategy at the time. When asked about the other golfers who have been convinced to join the divisive circuit, which is being run by the veteran Greg Norman, he responded furiously. He said that, in his judgment, what they've done is turn away from what brought them to this point in the first place. It was fairly obvious that Woods was implying that they wouldn't even exist without the PGA. The golfing legend continued, saying that who knows what can happen with global ranking points or even the requirements for major events in the near future. He felt that some of these people might never have the opportunity to participate in important tournaments. Even if we believe it happens, we all agree that there's still a great deal of uncertainty surrounding this when Woods first suggested it. Secondly, the man of the hour. Tiger Woods recently visited Delaware to meet with the best golfers in the world and rally support for the PGA Tour, which is understandably concerned about the state of the sport. Despite his absence from the BMW Championship field, this action, allegedly at the PGA's request, only serves to highlight the gravity of the mounting threat posed by the recently established LIV Golf Invitational Series. Patrick Cantlay, the current event's winner, revealed the encounter during his planned media conference one afternoon recently, a day when much of the curiosity focused on golf's most important player and subject. Cantlay, who is now ranked 4th in the world and 7th in the FedEx Cup standings, made a joke about Tiger Woods being named the new PGA Tour commissioner and probed the media as to whether they agreed. He claims that this is what everyone has been saying recently. According to Greg Norman, the company's CEO, in an interview with Fox News last month, the 15-time major champion has made no secret of his dedication to the PGA Tour and rejected an offer from LIV worth between $700 million and $800 million. According to Woods, the competitors on the new breakaway circuit had abandoned the principles that had gotten them to this point in the first place. Prior to the British Open in July, he made these remarks. Next up, the absence of players is felt. Cantlay, on the other hand, arrived in Delaware feeling much more assured following his spectacular triumph at the Caves Valley Golf Club in Owings Mills, Maryland, which included 6 significant playoff holes. Prior to that day, Cantlay had never played at Wilmington Country Club, but this year's runner-up in the competition, Bryson DeChambeau, won't be taking part, and his noticeable absence has nothing to do with his golfing talent. DeChambeau's departure from the PGA Tour earlier in the summer to join the Saudi-backed LIV Series for a huge 9-figure deal was one of the most prominent pieces of news in the heated dispute that has engulfed this golf season. Looking at BMW leaderboard from the previous year, when Cantlay and DeChambeau shot a tournament best 27 under par through 72 holes, further emphasizes the seriousness of the dispute. For example, past major champions Sergio, Garcia, and Dustin Johnson tied for 6th place last year, but aren't playing this year because they lost their PGA Tour status. The lineup also lacks Abraham Answer, who tied 9th at the BMW in 2021. All 3 committed to LIV, a group associated with Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, who, according to US intelligence officials, authorized the operation that led to the killing of Washington Post columnist Jamal Khashoggi. The tension and controversy surrounding the LIV Golf Invitational were initially sparked by claims and rumors like these, which in turn caused criticism and protest. Rory McIlroy, a 4-time major champion, and Justin Thomas, a 2-time PGA Championship champion, both confirmed Tuesday's meeting on Wednesday. McIlroy claimed that players left the meeting united on a course of action for the future. Lastly, what players needed? The top players on this circuit are all in agreement and alignment about the direction they should take moving ahead, which is the one thing that came out of it, according to McIlroy. And that was fantastic. Large guarantees and $25 million prizes have drawn stars like Dustin Johnson, Brooks Koepka, Phil Mickelson, Bubba Watson, Bryson DeChambeau, Henrik Stenson, and Sergio Garcia, away from the PGA for the record payouts and shorter events of the LIV Golf Series. In response, the PGA issued extended bans and increased the prize money for a number of events in an effort to match the wealth of the Saudi-sponsored circuit. The specifics of what players wanted were not made public, but McIlroy stated that one big concern from the discussion was giving the greatest golfers in the world more chances to compete against one another outside of the major tournaments. More frequently than we do, the top guys need to get together, according to McIlroy. He's, of course, referring to everyone's competing in the same competitions throughout the same weeks. For the time being, the discussion's particulars will be decided by the players and PGA Tour executives, according to McIlroy. McIlroy remarked that he doesn't think that's for a public platform right now. To attempt to sort of manage a course of action, he believes that's between the players and between the tour management. Other news. First off, Smith at the receiving end of some bad luck. Cameron Smith is being commended for his sportsmanship after receiving an unlucky two-stroke penalty that prevented him from winning the FedEx St Jude Championship and becoming the best. Smith experienced a big setback recently before the final round even began in Memphis, after recently being fined for beginning from the wrong location on the fourth hole. The world number 2 hooked his ball into the water off the tee on the par 3 hole and misplayed his third shot, allowing his ball to touch the red danger line. After previously being 2 strokes off the lead, Smith's 3 under par 67 was corrected to a 69, leaving him 4 shots behind J.J. Spawn in a tie for 14th place at 9 under. As American Will Zalatoris defeated Austrian Sepp Straka in an exciting sudden death playoff to win his first PGA Tour event, Smith finished with an even par 70 after losing all of his momentum. Although they'd just seen the incident at the exhibition, officials were sure that Smith would have understood that he wasn't allowed to play a ball that was touching a hazard line and assumed it wasn't. The situation, according to Gary Young, the chief official, was crazy and horrific, and it wasn't until a different committee member saw a TV replay later that weekend that authorities decided to further investigate and speak with Smith in person. Coming up, courts make headway. Due to the league being supported by Saudi Arabia, many golfers no longer have access to opportunities in other leagues. That's most likely how we arrived here in the first place. 3 golfers who joined the Saudi-sponsored LIV Golf will not be permitted to participate in the PGA Tour's postseason, according to a recent ruling by a federal judge in California. Judge Beth Labson Freeman of the U.S. District Court made her judgment in San Jose after listening to each lawyer on each side for roughly an hour. The amount of money the players were promised in exchange for agreeing to play for LIV is a crucial consideration in this case. Freeman claims that the damage the decision has caused to the players' careers is not really irreversible. That's great news, we suppose, and they might be able to bounce back from this. Each of them claims that they are legally free agents and independent contractors. They are just a few of the 10 athletes who, together with Phil Mickelson, have filed an antitrust lawsuit against the PGA Tour. Next up, LIV's opportunistic approach. At the Centurion Club in St Albans, England, Phil Mickelson finished the opening hole of the LIV Golf Invitational back in June. According to some series critics, LIV Golf depicts a wealthy kingdom's foolish venture into the world of sports in an effort to restore itself. This is totally false, though. Fundamentally, the LIV Golf Invitational accomplishes its own goals. The fact that LIV Golf pays players more money and in safer ways than the PGA has garnered a lot of media attention. But this isn't the key driver of the business's ongoing success. For many years, the PGA operated in a fairly transparent manner. It wasn't without faults, though, and eventually some of its players started to express their dissatisfaction about the company's failure to satisfy its customers, many of whom don't even know where their favorite golfers are scheduled to play, as well as the outrageous salaries paid to its executives and lack of financial disclosure. Well, LIV recognized an opportunity in the market and seized it, just like any other business would. That's a wrap for this video. Do you feel like the meeting will increase player retention in the PGA? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.